Hello FlossTube, my name is Sarah, I'm from Memphis, and this is my channel about cross stitch. Welcome, welcome! Today is Wednesday, February the 9th, and this is going to be a FlossTube Extra today. I think it's FlossTube Extra number 4, 3, 4, whatever it is. This is going to be my retreat recap from the Steel City Stitchers retreat that I attended last weekend. It was amazing. I mean, I don't know if you're expecting me to say otherwise. You're going to be sorely disappointed because I had the best time, even though I'm going to just say that the travel portion was absolutely unbelievably surreal. Like, there's a reason I feel like why I've mostly driven around this country these past several years of traveling. But, you know, when you're going with one person and you want to get there fast, don't you think flying is the way to go? Granted, you know, there was a little winter storm that came through that turned everybody's life upside down. So, you know, that had a lot to do with it, but it was just wild. So I'm just going to jump right in. The first thing that I want to say is thank you. Thank you to the Steel City Stitchers. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Erica. Thank you to their families for, you know, giving them to us for the weekend. And I'm sure all the hours it took to prep, they knocked this thing out of the park. I don't have any previous retreat experience, but I do have like functions experience, going to conferences. I actually have been on teams that have put on huge volleyball tournaments in multiple out-of-town locations. So I know what it takes and what goes into putting on a big deal like this. And they did a phenomenal job. They did not miss a beat. And they had some challenges, which I'll get into, you know, later. But I mean, just thank you, ladies. I am beyond excited to go to the next year's retreat, and just thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing everything you did to make this weekend such a special experience for all of us. And speaking of all of us, I am absolutely terrified that I'm gonna forget to say something about someone in this video. If I do, please forgive me. From the bottom of my heart, every single person that I met, talked to, spent time with, interacted with in any way, shape, or form this weekend, it meant something to me. It meant a lot to me, and this is a fabulous community, and I do not want to hurt anyone's feelings because you all were all amazing people to spend the time with. So thank you very much. That sounded a little Elvis-y, didn't it? I mean, I am here from Memphis, but okay, all right, here we go. Let's just talk about this. So the game plan was Zan is a crazy band lady Stitches. If somebody has an Instagram or a FlossTube, I'm going to mention it. I'm going to put it down below. Everybody's worth a follow. Everybody's worth a watch. I may not say it like repeatedly throughout the visits. The video. I may not say it like every single time I say Zan's name. She's crazy band lady Stitches, but now you know she is. So we're local to each other. We're friends. We have a group together called the 901 Stitchers, and we plan to travel to this retreat together. She was messaging me the day to sign up for this retreat. I was messaging her. We were on it. We had a game plan. Okay. So let's see. We leave on Thursday morning, and Wednesday, things started getting dicey. Flights started getting canceled, maybe even Tuesday. We were originally supposed to fly from Memphis to Detroit to Pittsburgh, okay? And Detroit got some weather, and so that got canceled. So Wednesday, we knew we had an ice storm coming into Memphis. We knew it was supposed to hit in the morning. Mid-morning was what they were saying. And Memphis, along with all of the other southern cities, we don't handle snow well, and we sure as heck don't handle ice well. Our telephone, like our power lines, especially in the neighborhood like I live in, which is an older neighborhood, are all above ground. We have old growth trees that just literally, you get too much ice on them, they're snapping and they're pulling everything to the ground. There are still people in my city, you know, what we're like day 7, they still don't have power, y'all. So, I mean, it was a catastrophe. But, so we knew this was coming. So we get a change of flight, okay, from Delta. That's where we're flying. We're flying Delta. And they say, okay, you're getting out of Memphis at 6 o'clock. And we're like, fabulous. If we can get out of Memphis at 6 o'clock, we got this, because it wasn't supposed to hit at 6. And when we left for the airport that morning, we had some little sprinkling, but nothing was freezing yet. Okay. So, the game plan was we leave from Memphis at 6 a.m. We go to Minneapolis. We get into Minneapolis like at 9 something. We leave from Minneapolis. We go to Pittsburgh. We're there by lunch, okay? That's the game plan. Sounds pretty good, right? Sounds better than our original situation where we were going to be doing like a 5-hour layover in Detroit. So we were actually kind of like pumped, you know, like, hey, this is going to be great. We're going to get there in time. We're going to get to hang out with people in the lobby and stitch and make friends and everything before the whole thing even gets started. In fact, my friend Matt, the MBC Stitcher, M like Matt, okay, he has a FlossTube, he has an Instagram, follow him. I had even kind of been like, hey, so when you get in, if you're not too tired, let's meet up at the bar and have a drink, you know, like assuming you drink, or if you don't, then, you know, if you'd want to drink a Diet Coke, I'm up for that too, right? Because, you know, I haven't ever met him in person. And, you know, he was like, yeah, because I'm thinking he was having to get his flight rerouted to skip Dallas, and he ended up in Charlotte, and, you know, he was going to get there kind of later in the evening. So I just wanted to make sure he got welcomed in, and we got everything off to a good start. But yeah, that's not how it worked out. So 4:30, we're at the airport. Our check-in to check your bags, because we were each checking one bag. I walk in, Zan's like kind of near the front of the line, and this line, y'all, is like, it's so long. And the Memphis airport, even though it's really huge, when Northwest pulled out a million years ago, like there's not as many flights that go out of there anymore. So that is not something that you typically walk into, is that long of a line to check your bags. Mild panic starts to set in, okay? Mild panic. So we spent 45 minutes in the bag check line. 45 minutes. I was about sweating. I was texting my husband. I'm like, I'm never going to get through security in time to make this 6 a.m. flight. Never. Okay. Go. Get to security. Didn't take too long in security. Like I said, I was about to have another panic attack because I don't really know what was going on with my line, but like they skipped me and they were like, we need to see if this big, huge bag will fit for this other lady. And they like threw it up on the thing in front of me, and like I'm waiting and I've got all my stuff off, and half my stuff's over here and half my stuff's over there. And just so that you know, if you have one of those day glow lamps, those cordless charging lamps in your carry-on, which I did, that's considered an electronic device. And so it needs to come out just like your tablets do. Okay. But no problem. I mean, I'm swinging it out of there. I'm getting it. I mean, I'm not really causing a ruckus or anything, but then I get down through the, oh, and the kid in front of me didn't take his phone out of his pocket. So like I'm waiting to get on the x-ray thing. He gets on the other side. I'm like getting in there and the guy's like, no, go back. And I'm like, what? Well, because the kid, that I'm saying kid because he's a college kid, okay? He's not like a 3-year-old kid. He's like a college kid. He has his phone and his headphones and everything else in his pocket. So he had to go back through. They do something with him. They finally let me go back through. I get down to get my bags, and I'm about to just to literally stroke out because like I have minutes to get to that gate, and they're waiting, but my stuff's like cut in half in 2 different things to come through because that lady's big, huge suitcase. Okay. So get to the gate. Zan's there. We're not boarding yet. So obviously there's some sort of an issue. Believe it or not, the lady who they were trying to see if the bag would fit on was like a Delta worker at the check you in thing, who ended up being super, super nice, but it was just a completely stressful situation. I'm saying bag like loosely, like it was the size of a small car, but really. Anyway, so we get there and we find out that there's a maintenance issue, which kind of puts everybody buzzing because most of us were from Memphis, and we knew if we didn't get out of there, we were going to be in a big problem. The next little thing that comes on is basically their computer system dumped all of our seats. So there were absolutely no seat assignments. So you had to bring up whatever you had on your phone or your paper or whatever for your boarding pass, and they had to like manually reassign. Okay, that would not have been a huge deal, except that there's like, and I might be saying this wrong, but there's like the farm team for the Minnesota Timberwolves there, and they are a bunch of huge guys, but like it's a whole huge group of them, and like I think there's like one person checking all of them in and checking all of them out, and that was part of the thing at the baggage too. So they were super great guys. Like nice, polite, like 6'11", jammed into these little tiny seats in this plane. I mean, God love them, but they were fabulous. But it was like, they also had this, the Delta agents also had this big group to contend with. Okay. So, all right, we're like, oh my gosh, we got to get on this plane. We get on the plane. We're sitting, we're moving people around. The guy next to me, I'm in an exit row. The guy next to me can't hear the flight attendant good enough to follow her instructions to help us in emergency. So she boots him over to a regular seat and pulls like a 6'11" basketball player over here who was a complete doll, just lovely. And we, get him situated and everything. And it was so much a better situation for him because of the leg room situation. Okay, we're on the plane. They're coming through. They're offering us drinks. They're offering us snacks. Okay, the snacks. Delta likes to serve you, which my stomach hurts just saying this right now. They like to serve you Kind bars and almonds. Okay. So, yep, I took it because we're hungry, right? We left the house before 4 o'clock. Who wants to eat breakfast at 4 o'clock, right? And so, okay, we're thinking we'll get to Minneapolis, grab something before we head over to Pittsburgh. No big deal. We're sitting. I don't know how long we're sitting for. I mean, it must have been an hour or more. They're like, okay, well, look, here's the situation. There's this many planes in front of us, and we need to be de-iced, and they're de-icing these planes. We're gonna get you off the plane, and on top of that, it was literally just pouring straight ice, okay? Like ice is just coming down the plane windows. They're like, we just don't have a good window weather of opportunity to leave right now. We're gonna get off the plane for a little bit. So we get off the plane for a little bit. And of course, everybody's kind of grumbling. And I mean, at this time, it's probably like 8 something, 9 o'clock. And so, you want some breakfast, right? Well, there's nobody at the airport to work. I guess they sent everybody home. I don't know if they canceled all the flights because we sure weren't like moseying around all the other gates. But like in our stretch, the sandwich shop wasn't open. The airport place, like where you get like your magazines and your Cokes and your whatever, nothing. There's nothing to eat and there's nothing to drink. And we're all just a little bit on edge at this point, okay? So then all of a sudden, the guy comes back on. I think he's like the co-captain or second in command. And he's like, we have a little narrow window of opportunity where this weather's going to cooperate with us. Everybody get back on the plane. But they got to like scan us all back in, right? That takes a long time. How narrow is this window, we're thinking? But we're all busting it to get on there. Everybody's cooperating. We're all doing the best we can, right? So we get on. Then we're waiting, and they come around again with them Kind bars, those almonds, and we're starving, and we're eating them. One of each, please. Nobody was taking just one. Everybody wanted one of each. Everybody's getting hungry. There's these little kids on the plane. They're antsy. They're on their way to Colorado. They're like, blah, blah, blah. They're little kids. I mean, I'm talking like 4 and under. Okay, so situation. We're waiting again. I mean, like, we're waiting so long that my seat partner here, he falls asleep. I mean, like, okay. They get back on. We're so sorry. We've missed our narrow window, and so we need to deboard again. Are you kidding me? Like, at this point, it had stopped the precipitation a little bit, and then we were just really thinking we were going to get out of there. We deboarded again. This time, people are not as like hopeful. People are wanting to leave. People are wanting to get their bags from the plane. They weren't letting them get their luggage from out of the plane because they weren't canceling the flight. There's still nothing to eat. There's still nothing to drink. People are on the phone trying to worry about their connecting flights. Our connecting flight from Minneapolis to Pittsburgh was like at 9 something in the morning. We have way missed this flight. And the lady tells me, the Delta worker, basically they'll rebook you. Once you get to Minneapolis, they're going to rebook you. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about it, right? Like it is what it is. Zan and I we're hanging out. We are doing our best. Zan made friends with these ladies heading to Vegas, okay? They were hilarious, and I hope that they had the absolute best time. We all became a little family on that flight because we were really all in it together. So then the captain comes out, which of course somebody said, hey, did you get to eat lunch? Yeah, I sure did. Must be nice because we're all starving. There's nothing to eat, and I'm like, well, I know we want our captain and he's flying. We want him to eat, but we are all just like, So anyway, we get back on the plane. He comes out and he's like, he really tells us that he really thinks we have a good chance of getting there. And we've got another window. And here's the situation. He said, I don't know the politics and I don't know why, but for whatever reason, before we got y'all on the plane, we were number 5 in line to be de-iced. 5 in line. Memphis is not really super equipped for de-icing planes. I mean, we have FedEx coming out of here, so that's mainly what those de-icers are there for. Everybody else can just, you know, figure it out. But basically, we were number 5 in line, and so that made us miss the weather window. We took off from Memphis at 1:30 something in the afternoon, and our flight was supposed to leave at 6 a.m. But we left. We got out of Memphis. In the meantime, you know, I'm texting with my husband. I'm texting with my daughter. The city's basically shut down here in Memphis. Power went out at my house at 9 a.m. It was out until, that was on a Thursday, and it was out until late Saturday afternoon. So, you know, they're not having a great time. And so I'm like, you know what? We're just going with the flow. We're just going to try to get to Pittsburgh. My mom's a little bit worried because she's like, I think Pittsburgh's supposed to be getting some weather. How's this going to work out? I don't know. We get to Minneapolis. It's beautiful in Minneapolis. It's cold as snot. Like, I think it was below 0, but it is beautiful and sunny. And we were happy to be there. And, you know, as soon as you land, you can put your phone back to airplane mode. And Zan's like, hey, I'm rebooked. Accept your new flight. And I'm like, I don't have a new flight. My app thinks I'm already in Pittsburgh. Oh. And she's like, well, she's sending me a text of like a screenshot of what her flight shows. Her flight shows her leaving out of another gate within like 25 minutes to LaGuardia, and then LaGuardia to Pittsburgh. And we get off, and I don't have that flight. And the lady at the desk, I had to wait for somebody else. And she's like, I'm really sorry. I can't help you at this desk because I don't know what it would have done to my flight. Something, anyway, it would have messed everything up even worse. And she said, to be honest with you, the last flight that went to Pittsburgh was y'all's 9 a.m. flight. Everything else has been canceled for the day. I don't know if you're going to get out of here, but you can go down to gates this and this, and there's these black phones, and you pick them up and you just wait for someone to answer. So in the meantime, Zan's about to miss her flight. Now, Zan says that I was like Betty White in the Snickers commercial because she was about to miss her flight, y'all. Her bags were going with that flight. And I was like, just go. God, she didn't want to leave me. I understand. But I was like, one of us is going to get to this retreat. Somebody's going to have some fun. Go. If I'll get there if I can get there. Maybe I'll get there tomorrow. Whatever. I'm a big girl. Just go. She said, I was like, ah. Anyway, it was all good intention. I didn't want her to miss her flight, and she had to run. She had to run because it was so far away. She barely made it. Okay. So in the meantime, I'm finding these black phones, and I'm on them, and I'm waiting. And then I see these other ladies sitting over here, and I'm like, I wonder if they can help me like the black phones. So finally I give up on the black phone that nobody answers, and I go ask the lady, and she's like, okay, I'm praying right now. And I'm like, I'm praying too. What's that mean? Okay, why? And she's like, I don't know why my computer system let me do this. It never, ever lets me do this. But you are on a flight now to Atlanta. And then you're going to go Atlanta to Pittsburgh. And you've got like 20 minutes to get to your gate. And I'm like, what about my bags? She's like, your bags will be there. Everything will be fine. She printed me out a boarding pass. And I was running again. In the meantime, let's just say this, worth repeating, that I've had Diet Coke, Kind Bars, and almonds today for food. Okay? And there's just been no time. And I'm running. And I don't run. Okay, I'm sweating, I'm hot, I've got a coat, I've got a purse, I've got a bag with all my whips in it, and I am like going as fast as I can. I make it to the gate. There's a million people. So this is like a big flight, right? There's a million people at this gate. I get this really nice guy, Andrew. He helps me because my phone still thinks I'm in Pittsburgh. So he like prints out all my stuff and gets me fixed up for all my flights. I finally had time to grab like a sandwich out of one of those, you know, plastic container things and grab like some Doritos and a Diet Mountain Dew. And I was able to sit down in a corner before we boarded, and I ate that sandwich. And it was the best sandwich I have ever eaten in my entire life. It was Havarti and ham and lettuce and good bread. And I mean, I was just like, I would have been like, you know how a dog will bite you if you come between them and their food bowl when they're starving? I probably would have bitten someone if they told me to put my food up. Like I wouldn't have bitten anybody. I would have probably bitten their head off. But yeah, so okay. I have some food. I have Diet Mountain Dew in my system. I go to board the plane. It is one of the big planes. Unfortunately, I'm in like a middle seat, which with my big bag of whips jammed under there, I can't really straighten my legs out at all. Like my knees were just killing me. I'm not a tiny person, so I was really, really kind of jammed in there. However, the two ladies on either side of me were fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. One was headed to Louisiana. I don't even know where the other one was headed, but she had like a 3-hour layover. They were the sweetest things ever. Okay, so we're looking at flights, and I have like 20 to 30 minutes, depending upon when we land, to make my connecting flight to Pittsburgh. I mean, from when I land to when that plane leaves. So they were like very supportive ladies. We had a game plan going. There's a screen on the back of the seat where you can look at like flights leaving, a map of the terminal. I was not familiar with Atlanta Airport. I knew it was huge. It's been a long time since I've been there. The Atlanta Airport is insane. From A to B to C to D to E to F, whatever, you have to hop on a tram and ride it. It's not an airport you get around where you need to go in 20 minutes, okay? So we already knew that was going to be an issue. Plus the flight was packed and it was huge and I was sitting all the way near the back. So how am I going to get past all these other people? Because, you know, they need to be somewhere too. Some of them. The lady next to me had a 3-hour layover. So she's like, you can definitely go in front of me. She's like, I'll help you. I'll be like, this lady has to be there in 20 minutes. She's like, I'm little, but I'm loud. After they served the food, I asked the flight attendant to come over and I said, I really need some help. I don't know my way around the Atlanta airport. I have a really tight connection. I've been in an airport since 4 a.m. and I had a 7-hour delay. Can you please help me map out where I need to go? He was great, but I also was lucky because I actually came into the same terminal that I needed to go out of. I had a long way to go, but I didn't have to take the tram and I didn't have to go to another terminal. It was a saving grace for sure. So got out of there. We were a little bit behind getting out of there, but I got out of there and ran over, made the other flight. Weather was bumpy coming in. Get on the other flight, just like this, right? Praying the whole time that my bags are going to make it. This flight was not super like full. So I had the whole row to myself. It was really loud. The captain said, we will not be serving drinks or food on this flight. It's going to be very bumpy on the way out. It's going to be very bumpy on the way in. Pittsburgh's getting some weather. There's weather between us and Pittsburgh. Just basically do your best to relax and we'll get you there. I went to sleep. I think I was just completely exhausted. It was super loud in there. You know, I didn't want to fall asleep in the other flights because I was jammed in somewhere and I snore sometimes. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to be snoring all over somebody. And it was so loud in that flight that you wouldn't have heard me snore if I was snoring like a bear. Anyway, so get there. Land in Pittsburgh. I feel like it was like 11 something at night. Airport's very deserted. No food's open. Getting text from Zan. Zan has not left New York City yet because they didn't have a crew, like a flight attendant crew to fly with them. So she's waiting on that. She's like, I'll be there in about 45 minutes. So I'm like, what, you know, whatever, it's fine. I'll be here waiting on you. Get downstairs to the baggage claim my baggage, sitting around just waiting on Zan. Text Matt got in, he got to his hotel, okay, everybody's fine. Text my family, I'm fine, I made it to Pittsburgh. I'm at the airport. I'm going to be here till probably 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then I know we've got about a 45-minute go into the hotel in Cranberry, Pennsylvania, but everything's good. I made it, and my stuff made it. Here comes Zan. Zan comes in, and we're waiting on her stuff, and she's convinced her stuff's not going to be there, y'all, but it did. Delta did a great job with our bags. As many changes and fast. Our bags were where we needed to be every time. So I'm trying to get an Uber. I had started trying to get an Uber when Zan was getting close to being there. Trying to get an Uber. I'm confirming an Uber. No drivers. Confirming an Uber. No drivers. I know it's the middle of the night. I know that the weather out there is not supposed to be great. I know we have a long way to go. I start thinking like we might be sleeping in the airport tonight because the car rental places didn't look like they were open either. So, all right. Zan gets there. I'm like, oh, can't get an Uber. I'm not really sure what we're going to do. I said, we might have to put out an APB. Like some people stay up really late at the stitching thing. Like we'll pay you like $200 to come pick us up, you know, something like that. I look up and who do I see across the airport? I see Carla, Roladex Stitcher, and her mama Roladex. And I'm like, yes, okay, we see somebody. Maybe they have a game plan how they get to the hotel. So we go running over there, hugging Carla. I've met Carla before. I love her. I met her last summer. Zan's met her at StitchCon. She loves her. It's all like family reunion. Okay. So we're like, Carla's like, I can't get an Uber either. Oh, we're feeling a little bit of stress about that. And she's like, I know there has to be a taxi. And I'm like, do they even have taxis anymore? And she's like, there has to be a taxi. So we go outside and shining down from heaven above is a taxi, okay? A minivan taxi, not just any taxi, a minivan taxi that will hold all 4 of us and our stuff, and a lovely lady driving it. So we hop on in. It's probably good we hopped on in because we didn't tell her where we were going before we hopped on in and put all our stuff there. She might have said, I am not taking y'all all the way out there to Cranberry, Pennsylvania, 45-minute drive in an ice and snowstorm. But she took us. And it was a little scary. We drove down the middle of the interstate. She kept apologizing for how slow she was driving. We're like, nope, do not worry about how slow you're driving. We just want to get there. We don't want to end up in a ditch. Mama Roladex, she was feeling a little bit anxious. She had to be peeking out the window all the time. Zan and I were sitting in the back. We were all just trying to chit chat and, keep our mind on the fun weekend we were about to have. We get to the hotel. I think it's like 2 in the morning. I don't know. We gave the poor woman a really big tip. Because God, she had a long drive back home, and we get checked in. We stayed at the Marriott in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. Great hotel, beautiful. Get checked in, get up to the room. It's not the room that I had requested. It was king size instead of 2 queens. So I run downstairs. The man is very apologetic. He switches it out for us, gives us free breakfast vouchers for the whole trip, which was amazing. And we get settled in. Of course, we're a little bit wound up still. We still didn't have any good food either. Did I tell you that? Like there was nothing good to eat even at the hotel. Like everything was closed. So we're running on empty, okay? And snacks are just gross at that point. But whatever, Zan's unpacking her stuff. We're putting her stuff up. We finally go to bed, I don't know, 2:30 in the morning or something like that. That is our trip to Steel City Stitchers retreat. It was insane, insane, insane. We were so, so grateful to get there. We get up in the morning. We head down for breakfast. We're glad to have our vouchers, and we had a nice breakfast. I was trying to remember, but before we went to breakfast, we saw that they were already checking people in. So we went over to the check-in table. We met all the girls. It was wonderful. They had it all set up. They had these bags. And everybody's bags had their number on them. We had a lanyard with a name tag. We had a bunch of goodies in the bag. It was super professional. There was Starbucks coffee set up and water set up outside, and it was there for us the whole weekend. It was so lovely. And we went and ate some breakfast and started to kind of pilfer through our bag. A lovely, lovely thing. So when we arrived, they had the table all set up. They were checking us all in, and I would show you, but I can't. They had these little bitty hoops with the Steel City Stitchers logo cross-stitched on them. Teeny, teeny, tiny, that Victor, FlossTubers on Instagram, made for every single one of us attendees. They are adorable. They are amazing. My friend Matt has mine in Tulsa with him because I'm going to blame it on this. Okay, I'm going to put right up here. This is our table, okay? This is not when everybody was even sitting there. This is what our table looked like. So this is why Matt would have gone home with my little Victor embroidery piece, because Hot Mess Express right here. I did post a picture on Instagram, which I will put up here, of Matt and I with our little embroidery pieces from Victor. Thank you, Victor. That was the sweetest, most amazing way for us to come on in. And it just added to the whole welcoming feeling that we got when we got in there. After we got checked in and got all of our goodies, we went and had some breakfast, and then we came back over to the room. Matt actually stayed the first night at a different hotel than we were staying in for the retreat. I didn't really know that. So I was texting him and asked him if he wanted me to save him a seat. He did, because I'd never met Matt in person before. Matt and I belong to a group chat that we have called the Dark Queen of the Seas Support Group. Started by Alexis, My Amazing World, and in it is also Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, and Lolly of Lollipop Stitches. And so we've been talking for months, and we've all made fast friends, and I was super excited to get to meet Matt in real life at the retreat. So I definitely wanted to save him a spot. When we went into the Stitchy room, if you can imagine, all of these tables, all of these stitchers, this amazing, basically a store from Janine with the Crafty Ewe in Ohio. She has a store set up in there. It was overwhelming, but in an exciting and good way. Everyone says that it's probably good that I came to this one first instead of going to StitchCon for my first retreat, because it's like, instead of like set up for 150 people, like this one was, set up for like 300 people. So, but it was so exciting. It was so exciting. We see, Ymir, AlmondMnMs. She's sitting at a table with Jennifer, the frog stitcher, and Sarah, we call her Big Red, and Shannon T-Rex. They're kind of sitting there. Zan and Ymir are friends. So go running over there, and we sit down with them, and we save Matt a seat, and get to meet all of them, which I'd only known through Instagram or FlossTube. And then we had Barbara, Stitching with Grammy. She joined our table, and Cheryl's wonderful. Cheryl's from California. She joined our table. And then we had like, that was 9 of us. Okay, that was 9 of us at the table. And then we were waiting on Jackie and Justine from X's and Hoes. So we jammed 2 more seats in there and squished everybody together. But this was a really full table, y'all. We had 11, but we had plenty of room when we were stitching and not stitching, because I didn't stitch that much. And I know my friend Zan didn't stitch that much. But so we were all in there having a good time. They welcome us. They explain, they have like all these tables set up on the side with, we're going to have raffles, and we had raffle tickets in our bags. And I guess this would be a good time to show you what was in our bags. So first we got this really cute little Steel City Stitcher like carry bag, which, I mean, what stitcher doesn't need a bag, right? And inside we had a bag that had a bottle of water in it, and some kind of bar, which Sarah wasn't going to eat anyway, and some chips. I did end up not really snacking on that stuff. I'm saying I was really over the snacky stuff, right? So I didn't end up snacking on that stuff too much, y'all. I ended up leaving it in the hotel room because hopefully somebody got it, because I wasn't carrying that home with me. But in our bag, we had, if we pre-ordered a t-shirt, which, see my Steel City Stitcher t-shirt, and I had pre-ordered a little zip up. So they had a really cute swag. This is nice. The t-shirt's really, really nice. Sweatshirt's great quality. So those were already in our bags. We had like an itinerary of what we were going to be doing for a couple days, what time the raffles were, when the store hours were going to be open, all that sort of pertinent information you need to know. We had a great a little chart in here from My Studio Creates. That's Brooke. Isn't that so cute? I love that. And we had another free chart in our bags from Wrought Iron Stitching. This is Tracy's. That's her Steel City Stitcher retreat piece. Isn't that great? Tracy was there with all of these finished pieces, and they looked really, really nice. Thank you, Tracy, for that. We had a cute little pattern and a coupon code from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And we had all of the finishing supplies for our retreat small. Now, I did not finish the retreat small before I got there, y'all. This is what the chart was. It was from Hello from Liz Matthews. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to make it this weekend. I did get a lot of this stitching done in the airport and on the plane, sitting, waiting to go. But I didn't get it finished. And then I was making myself stitch on it while I was there, but it was really hard to stitch while we were there, y'all. And finally, I was just talking to Matt about it, and he was like, stop stitching. But I omitted a few things on mine. I didn't do some flowers. I added some snowflakes. Well, let me just show you. Okay, this is my finished piece, which I didn't finish until I got back in town here in Memphis. But I omitted some flowers. I added some snowflakes. I changed the color of the thread to the heart, and I added my initials. Matt gave me this idea because he did that. This thread that I used here is a piece of silk that I actually did some stitching with this past weekend, so I thought that would be good. And then I added a little airplane. This is what that is, an airplane, because that's... I will never forget the airplane situation on this trip. Jackie said it looks kind of like a boot, and I agree with her, but y'all, it's an airplane. That's the ground. Airplane's taking off because we want to be taken off, right? So all these finishing items were included in our welcome bag. The board, the rickrack, the ribbon, the little button. Yeah, and they actually had a finishing station set up over to the side with hot glue guns, and Jody and Kristen and them, they were all over there showing everybody how to finish their stuff. Obviously, I didn't have my piece finished, so I didn't go over there and do that. But yeah, they did that. That was wonderful. I didn't win any of the raffles, but they had great stuff donated from all sorts of people. They had subscriptions to Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. They had a gift card to the Crafty Ewe. They had project bags made by Stitching with Grammy with the Steel City Stitcher logo on them. They had charts. You name it, like they had it. It was wonderful. It was super fun. It was super fun. And so they did those throughout the day. And let's see, we're still talking about Friday, right? So Friday, did some shopping at the Crafty Ewe. Did multiple rounds of shopping. We were calling it round 1, round 2. I'll show you my haul in just a little bit. I'm getting there, people. Let's see, so we just kind of hung out and visited all day. We went over back to the hotel restaurant for lunch. They do a thing there in Pittsburgh called a Pittsburgh salad. And y'all, what it is, it's like salad with steak and French fries. I didn't do it right. Kristen said I didn't do it right. I didn't do it right. I had fries on the side and the steak on the side and the salad in the middle, but whatever, I got filled up and it was nice. And then we just all had lunch together. Basically, most of the people from our table, I know Matt and Zan and Ymir, and yeah, I think it was actually most of us from the table that went over there for lunch. And yeah, we had a great time. Great time. Sorry, I was losing my train of thought. Had lunch, went back, stitched, shopped some more. Then we decided it was happy hour. So we made our way over to the bar. Now, the bar was not prepared for us. Was not prepared for all of the cross stitchers that were going to come and order lemon drops and use all of their martini glasses. And, you know, they were stressing. Some of them didn't know we were going to be there at all. And so they just weren't prepared for us. And, you know, that was unfortunate, but we made the best of it and we had a great time. They have a good Reuben sandwich there. So Matt and I split a Reuben and, yeah, just had a wonderful time hanging out, having some drinks, chatting. Then after that, what did we do? We went back to the stitching room and things had kind of calmed down in the stitching room. Some people went out for dinner. We didn't go out for dinner. Matt and I didn't anyway. We didn't go out for dinner, but things had kind of calmed down in there. So we found a seat we went over to Carla's table and Colleen, Rebel Stitcher's table. Okay. I introduced myself to Colleen shortly after we got there because I went shopping and I bought something of hers. I've watched Colleen's FlossTube and I really like her, and now I really like her even more. We had a great time. So we sat down with Carla and Colleen and Mary, a fraction of the rainbow, that's her Instagram, and Amy. And then we had some empty spots. So as kind of they trickled in and out, Kristen came over, Jody came over, Erin came over, and we actually sat, and that's probably the most stitching that I did was Friday night. Like we just kind of, you know, we were all kind of tired and getting settled in, and we just were just chilling and sitting at the table and just stitching and really enjoying ourselves. I was stitching on my Practical Magic piece, which was just lettering, because mostly I had to frog a lot, y'all. Like if I would stitch some, then I would screw something up because I was too busy talking. So I needed to really stitch on something easy, and I even messed some of that up. So it is true what they say about I mean, at least it was for me, about not taking something complicated to stitch, because I was much more interested in visiting with the people that I don't get to spend time with than stitching. You know, it was kind of like I could stitch and visit. You know, it was more of a social activity. It wasn't like stitching for the love of stitching for me this weekend. And I'm going to say that for Zan too, because that girl really didn't stitch at all. And if you're ever at a retreat with her, she's just going to go, 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 go. Y'all, she was out in the yard making snow angels when it was snowing. The woman loves snow. I love her so much. We had so much fun, but she's not going to be in her seat very often, okay? She's going to be running around here. She's going to be at the store. She's going to be running to Joann's. If you're looking for Zan, you're looking for Zan, because she's a little bit of everywhere. So we had a great time Friday night, stayed up too late, of course, went to bed, got up bright and early the next morning. Of course, you know, I kind of forgot that the time difference was kind of, you know, was an hour different for me. I'm on Central Time. So Saturday was kind of more the same. We got up and had breakfast. We had Colleen with us for breakfast, so that was really, really nice. Went on back into the room and, you know, did another round of shopping. Janine, she put, her fabric on sale. It was like 20% off. And she also has this rewards program. So like if you spend a certain amount of money, you get rewards. She was super helpful with me, like splitting up my purchase, because she's like, you're going to hit your reward and then you're not going to get your whatever percent off. So, so nice. They had everything at that store, y'all. They had fabric, they had charts, they had buttons, they had scissors, they had models, they had needle minders. I mean, like anything. It was just like a little mini L&S there with a great selection, and they worked their cans off. So Saturday was kind of more of the same. Raffles. Our table won a lot of stuff, but I didn't win anything. We went, Zan and Matt and I, was finally nice enough outside. We stopped, because on Friday it snowed all day and iced all day. I mean, like all day. I wonder Friday, Zan might have that might have been the day they went to the Joann's. I can't remember. They were running around already. But we went out for lunch. We went to this, Matt and Zan and I, we went to a restaurant called The Goat. It was decent. It was just like we had a little sandwich. It was like a bar place or whatever. And then Matt said he wanted to go to Target. He needed to get a pillow. And so we're thinking, okay, I have been having problems with the pillows because they were feather pillows and I'm allergic to them. So I was thinking maybe he was having a problem with the pillows too. So I'm like, okay, we're going to find a pillow. And then we thought, oh, well, maybe he wants a travel pillow because he's looking for the travel section. So we're like, okay, no, Matt wanted a pillow, like for his chair, because y'all, the chairs do kind of wear on you after a while, and his back was bothering him. So Xander and I are both like, what are we doing back here with these pillows? But that's what we got one. Matt got his pillow, and we got back to the hotel just in time to make the group picture. If I'm able to find a copy of the group picture, I'm going to put it in here of everybody holding up their finish or their halfway finish. That was really fun. And then we just stitched the rest of the afternoon, shopped a little bit more, headed back to the bar, had more lemon drops. Yep. And then we went out for dinner. We went out for dinner with Jackie and Justine's husband, Cyrus, and we went to, and Zan and Matt and I think we kept wanting to call it the Sloppy Moose. I think it might have been the Silly Moose. It's like a restaurant with a driving range, but the food was the best food I had all weekend. I had these chicken sliders with like chili on them, and we had these like gourmet Pittsburgh ice cream sandwiches. Anyway, got back, and then I don't know, I think the drinks, the food, the late hours, like the silly just hit us. And so it was just a group of us just hanging out and cutting up. And we just had a great rest of the night. After the Stitchy room closed at midnight, we all moved to the hotel lobby and we just were visiting and telling stories and just like really, really enjoying everyone's company. It was fun getting to know the girls from the Steel City Stitchers more, or meet them for the first time and getting to know them some. I really, really enjoyed getting to meet Ymir from AlmondMnMs and spending time and getting to know her, and my friend Matt, getting to see Carla again. And it was just, and getting to know the girls at our table, Jennifer, the frog stitcher, the one that stitches so super fast, and Big Red, and Shannon T-Rex, she's on Instagram, and she won the $100 gift card, so you go, girl. Getting to know Barbara and Cheryl, and of course Jackie and Justine. I've watched them on FlossTube. I know I've talked about them on here, but I love them. They're wonderful. And Colleen Rebel Stitcher, like she's so fun, y'all. She's so fun. I love her to death. And of course, Carla Roladex Stitcher, and Carla's mama, and Mary over there, and Amy, and everybody. It was so much fun. There's two ladies. And Jordan. I got to meet Jordan. Jordan's on Instagram, Jordan Ginter. And we've talked back and forth on Instagram before. What a sweetheart. I got to meet her finally and talk to her. And then she was at the table with Lindsay and Karen. And I'm going to tell you what, Lindsay and Karen need a cut on these Lowry stands from somebody, because they were showing Carla all about them. They were showing me all about them. Like, they gave me the demo, what to buy, what not to buy, how this works. I mean, the same thing for Zan. I'm buying one. They told me where to buy one from and how to get a coupon. You name it. Thank you, ladies. That was like above and beyond, and I was totally enabled. I also was able to meet Sarah and Jen were there. I think they just changed their FlossTube channel to, I think it's Stitching with Friends. Yes. They were there. They were super nice as well, and yeah, it was just such a great community, fun feeling. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. When we left, we went back to the airport with Ymir. We all took like an Uber together, and our Uber driver let us know that he felt like we were really lucky we were able to get a ride out that way from the airport, especially that time of night in that weather, but maybe in general. So I don't know, y'all. Like, I mean, maybe in the future, maybe next year we might rent a car or something like that, because I don't know. I mean, we could have been really stuck. But it took a long time to get back to the airport. And y'all, you know, on the way home, things were just nuts still. Like, we got delays. We had a non-compliant passenger who wouldn't put his mask on. We had to go back to the gate. Like, 9 connecting flights in Atlanta were missed because we had to turn around for this guy. And like, it affected so many people on the plane. There was just delays. We were just waiting. Whatever. We got home. We got home safe and sound. Our bags got home. Bags got everywhere with us. Zan's bags were pretty beat up, but we made it home. And I mean, it was just the best weekend. It was the best weekend. What did I stitch on? I stitched on Trick or Treat Fairy, and I messed her up, and I had to frog a whole bunch. I stitched on the Practical Magic piece, and I got some lettering done. I stitched on the Steel City Stitchers retreat piece, and I had a new start. I'll show you my new start. I'm fixing to show you my haul, and I'm fixing to show you all the stitchy kindness that I got from my table mates and everybody else there. So here goes with that. Let's see, did I miss anything else? I'm gonna put some pictures in of some of us with our friends, and etc. So when I got there, let's see. First person, Jennifer, the frog stitcher. She gave us these at our table. These little bags, y'all, and they had candy in them, and which I just wasn't eating much of the junk food. Like, we all brought snacks to the table, and it didn't really get touched too much. Everybody was just busy stitching. Got some little frog stickers, some candy, a limited edition Gentle Arts, and these adorable needle minders. Thank you, Jennifer. They're so cute. I love them. Sarah, which they call her Big Red Human Crafter, she got a new name this weekend. She changed her Instagram name this weekend. She makes these little froggers, which, yeah, you see that, right? It's really good, because this is exactly how you feel when you're having to frog. And I broke it in really early because I figured out stitching was not an easy thing. Oh gosh, there's this other stitcher, Sally Yoon. Is that her name? Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. Did I write her name down? I'm going to put her name right here, because she made all of these needle books. If you go follow her on Instagram, which I highly suggest, you'll see the picture she made of all these needle books. She made them all the colors of the rainbow. They are gorgeous. And she let everybody pick one. She made one for everybody that came. Like, how fantastic is that? And they have the cute little X's. Like, yes, I love it. I love it. Go follow her. She's great. She's great. Let's see. What else did I get at my table? Oh, Cheryl is from California, and I've already made this into a needle minder today, but she gave us a charm that says California. It's a state. See it? Yeah, so I've already turned it into a little cute needle minder. Thank you, Cheryl. My buddy Matt, he has these beautiful agate needle minders, and he let us all pick one out, and they were the most gorgeous colors, and I'm so happy to have this. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, thank you. My friend Zan, she bought me something at the store. She knows I like these little Ort holders, and I love some Christmas, so I got a little. Isn't that sweet? I love it. Thank you, Zan. And then I think it was Tiffany that was walking around passing out these little floss drops in all different colors and just letting us take some. Aren't those happy? I love them. From Colleen, Rebel Stitcher, I got an Albus needle minder. Thanks, Colleen. I love him. He's a doll baby. I think that was all the Stitchy kindness I got. Which was amazing. Like, what? Yeah, now let's just talk about some haul. So like the round one, I had to have these needle minders from Rebel Stitcher from Colleen. I've been eyeing this one. I love this. This is probably the only cryptid I'm a fan of, so I love it. Super cute. And I got this one too. I love that. I love that quote. I really think it's an Al Capone quote. If you look it up, there's like a whole quote to it. All right. I also found at the store some scissors. Aren't these adorable? The eye is the snap. I got these for myself. And then I got these for a Stitchy friend. Aren't they cute? I love them. Oh, God. So cute. What else did I buy? Oh, one of the times I went, oh, I forgot. Look. This also came in our bag. A Steel City Stitcher needle minder. Yay. Love it. Love it. I think I finally found a pair of scissors I really like. I haven't really liked any of them, but I bought these bone ones there. Aren't they pretty? They cut like I want them to. Like, I have 3 pairs of gingers. I have just I have lots of different scissors. That I've been on the hunt for a pair that I really like. I really like those, so I was happy to get those. All right, Erica brought some bags there. Miss Erica needs to begin making bags for next year right now because her bags are phenomenal. I snapped up 2 before they even announced they were for sale. I was over there peeking at them, and then Christian was about to announce them, and I was like, oh, wait, please, wait, let me pick. So I got 2 Erica bags. Isn't this one so cute? They are beautifully made, and she has chosen the most fun patterns. They're so nice. And of course, I love Christmas, y'all. So look at this. It's beautiful. I love it. The little charm. So cute. So cute. So I got 2 Erica bags. And then my Crafty Ewe haul. I went several trips. So let's just say, I'm just going to do it all in one. Okay. Let's start with the fabric. The fabric was glorious. It was organized by count, which I found very helpful because it was organized. It was like Aida, linen, and then each section had like all Aida 32 was down here with the Aida, and all linen 32 was down here with the linen. And I appreciate that extra step because it made it really easy to shop because even though I looked at all of it, I know what I like to stitch on or what I prefer to stitch on. So let's just start with, I've been wanting to try this Fabrics by Stephanie in some of these colors, and I'm so happy to have gotten it. This first one is going to be Fabrics by Stephanie, and it is called, it is a 40 count linen, and it is Jamie's Kilt. Oh my God, y'all. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. My next piece is a Seraphim Fabrics. It's a 32 count linen, and it's Cecil. Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right. My next piece is another Fabrics by Stephanie, 36 count linen, Murtaugh. So gorgeous. I was so happy to get these. And she had a lot of different dyers, fabrics up there. She had Under the Sea. She had Fabrics by Stephanie. She had Seraphim. She had Picture This Plus. She just had a whole smorgasbord of different dyers. I was able to get my first piece of Jody, hand-dyed by Jody. So Jody's Magic fabric. Isn't it gorgeous? This is a 28 count. I even went and bothered Jody for a picture with my first piece of Jody fabric. I'm going to put that right here. I think we were talking about what I was going to put on it. And I think I'm going to put on it this chart from this issue of Just Cross Stitch. I think you can get it on AlmondMnMs' website now, maybe. I think I'm going to put this Lovebirds piece on it. Yeah. And Jody was like, I think it would be cool in like hot pink. And yeah, I gotta look into that. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited. Then I split a piece of this with Zan. This is Nessie by Under the Sea Fabrics. This is a Lugana, 28 count Lugana. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, if y'all could see like that periwinkle, it just pops in real life. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And the last piece of fabric I bought because it was on sale. And it is the called for Parisian Gray 30 count that I needed for Kringles. I'm going to start Kringles for like my Christmas in July stitching. So now I have my fabric. I have a large piece, but I'll be able to do stuff with it. It's okay. And it was on sale, right? That's all the fabric I bought. I was excited to see that she had Bothy Threads kits. I love Bothy Threads and these Rendale designs. So I got this one, which is actually, you can be made into like a Christmas card or something. Isn't that bunny sweet? I got that one. And then I got this one. No Calls for a Llama, right? This was my new start. Look at this fabric. It's so cute. It's speckled. My little pitiful start. I'll tell you why I didn't stitch more on it. I didn't have a copy machine to make a working copy. I didn't want to screw it all up and have to frog it all out, especially because it's a kit with the called for fabric with threads, and I couldn't like kind of mark it out on anything, so I just stopped stitching on it. The reason why I got this chart is because when I went to visit my Aunt Susan a few years ago, we met Caesar, the No Drama Llama, and I'll show you. I'll pop a picture in here. This was us during our visit. Just kind of reminded me of that. I thought it was super cute and was a fun start. Let's see, what else did I get? I got another bag from the Crafty Ewe. Of course, it's Christmas, but who can resist cross-stitch Christmas? I mean, y'all, what? Look at this. Cross-stitch Christmas project bag. Yes, ma'am. I'm there for that. And then a really fun and surprising purchase I bought. I bought this. This is by Shepherd's Bush, okay? The chart is for Joy. And they had the bag that you actually cross-stitch on, this project bag. And they had the buttons and some of the pearl cotton I needed. What? I wasn't expecting to buy that at all. My game plan going in there was basically fabric based. I knew if I saw fabric that I got my hands on, that I touched, that I wanted to see, I didn't know what brands they would have. I was planning to buy fabric, and then, like I said, I have been on the hunt for scissors, and I just kind of resist these Bothy Threads kits because they're so cute. And you know, I'm a sucker for project bags because I love my project bags. That's all my haul. That's everything. Like, I feel like, wow, what an amazing, amazing weekend. What an amazing journey to and from. Not amazing, hellish actually, but hey, it was worth it. I kept telling myself when I'm like jammed in these little seats or running and sweating and being like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna make it to this gate, my arm is killing me from carrying all these whips. I kept telling myself, they have no electricity at home, things aren't very fun at home, you can do this. You have heat and wherever you are, you have electricity, and you're going to have a great time. Just go. And I'm so glad I did have a great time. I had a great weekend. I enjoyed spending time with all of my Stitchy friends, old and new. I am so excited. I'll be seeing some of them next month when I go to market, and I'll be seeing more of them at StitchCon Weekend A in June. Yeah, I'm just, my heart is full. Thank you, Steel City Stitchers. You guys are amazing, and you all just made everything just as great as it could be. And, you know, and I just want to say props to them. Like, they had some challenges to face, y'all. I mean, you know, when you put on an event like that, you're trying to make a lot of people happy. And, like, you know, when you're in a big room like that, okay, we're all at various stages in our lives, and we're all different people. And some people are hot all the time, and some people freeze all the time, and some people have hot flashes. And the heating and air in there, like, it would get really hot, it would get really cold. They were on the phone like every time trying to take care of this business. There were wild, crazy hockey playing kids running all over the lobby with drunk parents who were not supervising them. They were trying to deal with that and make everybody happy and make everything just as nice and relaxing and fun for everyone as humanly possible. And they did it. They did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, props to y'all. Y'all did an amazing job, and I can't wait to come back next year. So if you ever consider going to a Steel City Stitcher retreat, I'm going to say go for it. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Had the time of my life. Can't wait to meet more people next year and meet my old new friends. And yeah, I just can't say enough. Just can't say enough. If you have the opportunity to go to a retreat, I mean, go for it. There were people there who didn't know anybody, and that's great. Like, that you can just go somewhere and not know people and have something in common and find a table and sit and stitch and talk. And, you know, not all communities are like this. And so it's like something to be super thankful, grateful for. And I am. So I hope you've enjoyed hearing my recap of the weekend. I hope you enjoy some of the pictures and things that I'm going to show, things I've talked about. If you have any questions, now I'm such a pro. I've done one retreat, not really, but you know, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And if you are thinking about going to a retreat, go for it, especially if it's thrown by the Steel City Stitchers. I will see you all for a regular FlossTube very soon, because I have lots and lots to talk about. Love y'all lots, and have a great day. Thanks. Bye.